how long? Just tell me. Just tell me. Is it fine if we complain for the next 100 years about apartheid and still come back and say we're in power? We're in a new democratic dispensation. Is it fine? For how long? For how long are we going to complain about poverty that's rampant in our country? For how long are we going to complain about crime that is tormenting our families? For how long are we going to complain about poor education? For how long are we going to complain about hunger? For how long? Yes, there's been a lot of talks about Africa that is rising, but it's not really rising for Africans. But remember, the key to thriving in 2024 is not to have a goal, but in actual fact to become the person that can accomplish that goal. Every year, there's New Year's resolution. People talk about New Year's resolution every year. Those who believe in January as the first month of the year set up goals in January. New Year's resolutions. Some want to lose weight. Some want to lose weight and say, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. That's January. Join number of gyms. 36 months account. Fucking credit card. Sign those agreements. But in April, back to square one. Nothing. And no sign a contract at 36 months. Every year. The so-called New Year's resolution, people will decide this year I want to study 1, 2, 3. I want to start a business. But come May, June, goals are not there. Now it is not important to set goals. It's not. There are certain things that should precede goal setting. There are certain things that you must do before you set up goals. Because the key to thriving in that year is not to have a goal, but to become the person that will achieve that goal. It doesn't help. Doesn't help. You can have 1,000 goals, but if you become this person that will be aligned to the goal. Remember, entrepreneurship is attitude. Entrepreneurship is mindset. You can have the best goals. You can have very powerful goals. But if your mind is not aligned, if your attitude is not aligned, you run the risk of becoming irrelevant. So the key to thriving in 2024 is not to set a goal, but to become the person that can accomplish that goal. Because you see, the reason why you must start with this person is because there's a war between the person and the mind. There's a war. Alan Reyes, the founder of Race Corp, says entrepreneurship is a war of attrition between yourself and your competitors. But mostly between yourself and your own psychology. That's what Alan Reyes is saying. So you can win a war. You can win a war against your competitors and still fall. But the point of departure is to ensure that you solidify your foundation by winning the war between yourself and your own psychology. Because if you're pessimistic, if you think you'll never make it, if you think you don't have the right attributes, traits, skills, knowledge, if you think you're not enough, it does not matter. It does not matter the muscles that you have, the weapons that you have to beat your competitors. You will still fall because you don't believe in what you have. Now it's important for us to look at ourselves and say, am I the right person? Am I the right approach myself? Am I the right approach towards the accomplishment of the mission in 2024? Towards the achievement of the goal in 2024? Because if I don't do that, I will never be able to win a war between myself and my own psychology. Because that's a serious war. Success is something you attract by virtue of the person you become. That is wrong. By virtue of the person you become, not what you're gonna do. No, you can work hard. There's so many people that worked hard but never got anything. It's a condition. It's something that you attract by virtue of the person you become. So I think our challenge is that we don't become this person that will be able to attract success. And we are saying, Now or never, we're on Good Life Radio, our talk, your inspiration. We are changing the narrative. We're actually changing the direction of the status quo. We are saying, let's start this thing properly. Let's look at this fundamental issue of entrepreneurship. Because everyone knows that SMME is one of the powerful key economic drivers, not only in this country, not only in this continent, but across the world. It contributes to job creation. It contributes to poverty eradication. It contributes to overall development. But there are certain obstacles, there are certain challenges that are facing entrepreneurs that make it difficult for entrepreneurs to make it. Now we need to look, I think the past 2 weeks we looked at the challenges that are facing entrepreneurs. And last week we had our guest, Mr. Manu Mashaba. So Manu Enterprise, also running Machaba Consulting, the business mentor, the consultant, very experienced in the field of entrepreneurship. We spoke to him about the challenges and as well as the solutions in actual fact that are facing entrepreneurs. And we're continuing with that conversation. We'll be talking to him at 7 to unpack these solutions. Because in principle we agree that we need to be this person. But as much as we can become this person, there are certain powerful challenges that impede us from succeeding as entrepreneurs. So look at that. We'll look at them. We'll discuss them. So that we can have a cream of entrepreneurs that contribute towards solving the challenges that we're facing in this country. Remember, entrepreneurship is not about business studies. I said it last time. In my understanding, entrepreneurship is a social science, because when you're an entrepreneur, you solve a problem. You are looking for problems in society and you come up with solutions to solve the problems in society. Because entrepreneurs are community developers. Entrepreneurs are community change agents. Entrepreneurs are economic empowerment agents. Hey, entrepreneurs are social workers. They identify where there's problems in society and come up with solutions. So we'll be looking at that. We're looking at those solutions. Wherever you are, my name is Mighty Mabule. I come from a company called Mabule International. SMME development specialist. We are business doctors. We've been assisting professionals, entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses for the past 2 decades. We provide mentorship and coaching, access to market, sales increase, training, and so on. We are here in Good Life Radio because we believe in the good life of Africans. We believe in the inspiration of Africans. We believe in the healing of Africans. We believe in the empowerment of Africans. Hey, we believe in the motivation and hope of Africans. And we are saying, this is the platform. This is the platform. That's far no further. That's far. Let's cut the chains. And which instrument do we use? Which tool do we use? How can you have a good life if you don't have a good talk? Because the good talk is a foundation. That's where we strategize. That's where we talk about this healing, this empowerment, this hope, this motivation. So that at the end we can say, hey, better life for all. Because before you achieve that better life for all phenomenon, the foundation must be solid. The soil must be fertile. You don't expect fruits, beautiful fruits and vegetables that come from a soil that is not fertile. So we're having this conversation about how can we create this better life? How can we create this good life? How can we have an inspired society that work on addressing the socio-economic challenges that are facing? Because remember, entrepreneurs are human beings first. That's why we always emphasize the issue of self-mastery. That's why we'll also emphasize the issue of character building. That's why we'll always emphasize this issue of working on this person, because the business will reflect this person. And we agree in principle that there's a lot of challenges that are facing entrepreneurs. And we are saying if these challenges can be addressed, yes indeed, we will be able to navigate through these rough terrains. We will be able to fly like eagles. Because remember, an eagle is not afraid of the storm. An eagle doesn't keep company with pigeons. An eagle doesn't keep company with chickens. An eagle doesn't eat dead meat. So entrepreneurs must be eagles, must fly above the storm. And what is the storm? The storm is this SMME challenges. So we need to fly above the storm and look at them like this and say, hey Baba, I'm coming. South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, SAICA, previously released its report about SMMEs and the understanding of the whole landscape. You know, in my quest for knowledge, in my quest for wisdom, you know, I'm a knowledge fanatic, I'm an intelligence fanatic. I love accumulating knowledge because knowledge is the enemy of poverty. So when I was in that terrain, you know, when I was in that forest, in that jungle, I'm searching for knowledge, I came across this report by SAICA where they were actually, you know, looking at the whole issue of challenges that are facing entrepreneurs. They conducted a survey to ascertain views of SMMEs and factors that materially affect the current business environment. We'll look at that study. It's an extension of the discussion for the past 2 weeks. I'm just saying, wherever you are, as an academic, as a thinker, as a professional, as a captain of industry, yes, whatever we're saying is based on studies. Some of the studies that we conducted at Mabule International, some of the studies that have been conducted by SAICA, some of the studies that have been conducted by different think tanks in the country. But the studies are the same. The results are the same. SMME challenges are the same. Now, the success of SMME is very crucial in terms of generation of new jobs. The National Development Plan, you know, forecasting, you know, spoke about 90% of new jobs coming from the SMME sector by 2030. I'm not sure if you're achieving that. Now we're 2023. Some of us are already 2024, depending on the angle that you come from. You know? So the NDP speaks about 90% employment by 2030. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not good with calculations. If I'm not mistaken, it means the sector has to grow by 5.4% every year. But I think we're not even sitting at 30%. We're not even there. What does it mean? Does it mean we're failing before we start? Why are we failing? Because there's a lot of billions and billions of rands. Billions and billions of rand. You know, put aside for the development of small businesses. We have government agencies that are there supporting small businesses. Right? We have state institutions supporting small business, but we're not even closer. We're not even closer to achieve 20% of the NDP goal in terms of 90% employment by 2030. We're not there. What is the problem? It's because of the challenges that I've mentioned, amongst others. So look at that. We'll look at that. And SAICA report highlights these 5 challenges that SME face. They mention access to finance, business skills and knowledge, access to education, access to market and regulation and policies. But remember, today's show is about the solution to those challenges. We don't want to be like, you know, we are looking at the solutions. We are looking at the solutions that are facing entrepreneurs in this country. We are looking at solutions. At 7 o'clock, we'll be talking to Semanu Mashaba, where we'll be unpacking some of the solutions. Now, let's look at the first one. Business skills and knowledge, so that you can be able to navigate through these rough terrains. Kgwebo e nyaka tsebo, kgwebo e nyaka bokgoni. Kgwebo ga o e rane fela. Kgwebo e nyaka re o ithute ka mokgwa kgwebo e raniwang. A ke tseba tsela ya go rekisha. A ke tseba tsela ya go bala tšhelete, ya go hlokomela tšhelete. Ke kgwebo e. Now, yengwe ya di-challenges, yengwe ya mabaka a paledišang dikgwebo go gola ke tlhokego ya tsebo, ke tlhokego ya bokgoni. Now, question ke gore, how can we be able to deal with this? Remember, no book will change your life. No inspirational speaker will change your life. No program will change your life. No show will change your life. The point of departure is to believe that you can craft a solution for your own problems. Because success begins with one's belief. Number 1, you must believe that you are teachable. There are people that are very hopeless about life. There are people that judge themselves on the basis of the level of literacy they are in. Go and check the literacy level of Henry Ford. I'm not sure if he was able to write his name. I'm not sure. You'll check. But go and check where Henry Ford is. Every Ford motto you see is the result of one man who had this brilliant idea. So the first thing, you must believe that you are teachable. You must believe that you can learn. You must believe that you can be empowered. You must believe that you can be better than yesterday. Because once you believe in that, you will rise up and say, where do I get these skills? That's where the law of attraction comes in. Because remember, whatever you believe in your mind, it will manifest itself into actions. So believe that you can learn the new skills. You can believe that you can get this knowledge. And from there, there's so many avenues. So many avenues. You can identify a course. You can identify, guys, maybe some of you are not aware. Education is more than free now. Do you know that you can study entrepreneurship at Harvard University for free? You can study entrepreneurship and invest in the world for free. You can attend the training around entrepreneurship and starting business with different state institutions for free. Because don't allow yourself to run the business in isolation. You can't be a small business owner. You can't be an entrepreneur and not make Department of Small Business your friend, not make the CEDAs of this world your friend, the NYDAs of this world your friend, the Gauteng Enterprise Propellers of this world your friend. Those are government development agencies that are aimed at empowering you. And they are for good causes. I know not everything is good, as much as not everything is bad, but you must be able to identify what is right. Become clients of CEDA and other state institutions. Stand up. Go to your own local economic development division in the municipality, because they have strategic partnership with different entities by virtue of being a local development division. Because they have a responsibility to champion SME development. Ask them. Ask them. Rekisa ditamati ko khoni I'm a farmer. Ke rekisa ko khoni. Ke nyaka tsebo ya go rana kgwebo. Ke tswa mo Thembisile Hani municipality. Ke tswa ko Gretshebande municipality. Ke ye ko kae? They will tell you about those state institutions. And if you are young, then there's no excuse. You have Uncle Google, SME development agencies in South Africa. How to learn new business skills in South Africa. Right? How can I develop my business in Pretoria? Right? Then the results that you get there. There's so many platforms. There's so many webinars. There's YouTube channels. There's YouTube channel. Go there. Get others who have made it. Listen to those, clips. Learn from them. But most importantly, after learning, take action. Because information is power when it's acted upon. I don't subscribe to the notion of Einstein that, knowledge is power, or the so-called, no, I don't subscribe to that. Knowledge will never be power if you don't act in accordance with that knowledge. Information will never be power if there's no action that follows it. Doesn't help to have the knowledge that's not changing your life. Doesn't help to have the knowledge that you are not actually acting in accordance with it. Now, we are looking at business skills and knowledge because we agree in principle that you need skills to run a business. You need knowledge to run a business. And I spoke about, either courses, either at varsities, at colleges, webinars, different social media platforms, right? Books, right? And above all, I'm closing that particular aspect, taking action. And remember, in entrepreneurship, we get clarity when we're moving. I love the words of Mark Zuckerberg. He said, I did not have all the answers when I started Facebook. Because you wouldn't have had all the answers with regards to, making sure that all the people in this world are able to connect and talk to each other. But he said, I'll find answers as and when I'm moving. That's the spirit of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, you get clarity when you are moving. What is important for you to start? Start. Because excellence does not exist. Excellence is a result of continuous improvement. My name is Mighty Mabule on Good Life Radio. Our talk, your inspiration. We do healing. This is healing. This is healing. This is inspiration. This is hope. This is motivation. This is development. We are talking entrepreneurship. We are talking small business development. It doesn't matter the approach. It doesn't matter the angle. Don't worry about semantics. This is a foreign language. This is not our language. Don't worry about semantics. Whatever meaning that you attach to whatever I say, what is important is that at the end you must be inspired. So don't sit there in the corner and say, I'm just correcting this English. It's really we're not there. We're not there. We're not there. We're looking at solution to bring hope. We're looking at solution for healing. We're looking at solution for empowerment. We're looking at solution for development. We're looking at solution for optimism. Because we want the good talk. We want better future. That's why we're Good Life Radio. Because we are saying, we've had so many bad talks. We have had so many bad stories. That's far no further. Africa now or never. They were the architects of our own fortune. Everything is in our hands. But remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Yes, you need knowledge. You need skills. You need knowledge. You need skills to succeed in your business. Another challenge that we look at. I don't want to focus too much on the external. When I talk to entrepreneurs in our seminars, in our talks, because we get invited by different companies to come and speak to employees. You can get invited by different enterprise development houses to come to speak to employees. I always say to them, let's not look at the external challenges, because if you look at the external challenges, you never move. Our level of despondency will be so unbearable that we won't even think of moving an inch. Because one will come and say, look, shedding. So I always say, let's look at internal. Stephen Covey speaks about the inside-out approach. Let's go internal. Let's go internal. How do you sell in your business? One of the challenges facing entrepreneurs is access to market, which obviously has a link to access to sales. And I always say to entrepreneurs, the reason why you're not selling is because you are selling. If you want to sell, don't sell. And if you don't sell, you will sell. And they'll say, Mr. Mabule, what are you saying? So the reason why we are not selling as entrepreneurs, over 80% of the entrepreneurs that we encounter, they will always tell you that we struggle with sales. And when I talk to them, I start to realize that the reason why they are selling, the reason why they are not selling is because they are selling. And if they are selling, they will never sell. And if they stop to sell, that's when they start selling. What do I mean by that? When you start a business, don't start by selling. And if you don't start by selling, you will sell. Business is about creating relationships. Business is about the relationships. It's about creating those relationships. This is a subject on its own. In one of our shows in January, February, we'll look at the subject of access to market in the true sense of the word. We'll summarize it today. Access to market and sales increase is one of the challenges that are facing entrepreneurs. It's a phenomenon that is bit, simplistic, but very sophisticated. Access to market. Companies and state institutions spend a lot of money, organizing conferences at Gallagher Estate, at Sandton Convention, at Cape Town International. Requesting their own clients to come and occupy different stalls. And when those SMMEs leave those exhibitions, he leaves there with 1,000 business cards and 20 pages of registers. And when I arrive in his office, very inspired, he says, now I'm going to make money. And guess what? He struggled. He says to get 10 clients from those business cards. And a lot of millions, a lot of money was spent on the Sandton Convention in Kalaka Estate. You know that. It's because the approach is not right. You don't start by selling. There's certain things that precede that. We are specialists in that. We do the work for different incubators. Develop business incubator, we do the work for them and other companies. So we'll unpack this concept of access to market. But let me just put it this way. In simple terms, market access is about getting the solution to the right customers at the right time and possibly even at the right price. So market access is access. Actually, access to market is access to networks, and access to networks is access to opportunities, and access to opportunities is access to people. Therefore, access to market is access to people. And if you create the relationships with the people, you've already started with the market. Doesn't matter how big is that multinational. Doesn't matter how powerful is that conglomerate. But after all, it's people that take decisions. Now the question is, how do I access those people? That's the question. So market access is not about occupying the stalls and having 5,000 international guests visiting your stall and leaving with business cards from China and Australia and so on, and tomorrow you struggle even to call them. I don't find that working by 20 years of experience. In my approximately 2 decades of experience, I said this is not working. Let's develop a formula for that. So market access, I repeat, is markets to networks, and access to networks is access to opportunity, and access to opportunity is access to people. Therefore, access to market is access to people. Now the question is, how do I access the people? I'm not talking about selling, no. But the result of that is a lot of sales. Because from that, you will generate leads. You will convert leads into prospects, and prospects into sales. Those relationships will be flying. Market access is access to people. So you need to sit down and say, who am I targeting? And how do I get that person that I'm targeting? And you plan around that. You can come and say, I'm running a logistics company, I'm running a transportation company, or I do furniture removal, whatever. And I'm looking for companies that I can deliver their stuff, that I can help them with distribution. Then when you go to Sandton Convention or Kalaka Estate, you'll find that there's a manufacturing exhibition where 5,000 companies that are exhibiting, they are manufacturers. And they need logistics company to transport their product. Now you are clear in terms of what you want. You are clear. You are looking for people that manufacture stuff so that we distribute to them. You are running a digital marketing company and your target market is small businesses. Now there's small business conference organized by Department of Small Business. They are saying, come, volunteer to be the speaker there and speak about the power of digital marketing in SME development. You say, no, don't worry. If you don't have a budget for me, I'll speak. What will happen? Immediately after your talk, the SMEs will start following you. Because you're able to position yourself for the people that you're actually targeting. But the mistake that different state institutions do is to spend money on programs that are absolutely impertinent. The mistake that we do is to spend money on businesses. I'll give you an example. Not every client will take your flyer at the robot. Not everyone. So it means you have developed promotional material that is not pertinent to the clients that you are targeting. Then if market access is access to people, then it means you have missed the boat because we are not able to access those people. So the concept of market access needs to be unpacked thoroughly. But I'm giving you the foundation of it. The foundation of it is that market access is access to people. Then the next question is, how do I get these people that I'm looking for? Today you have LinkedIn. As an enterprise development specialist, sometimes I just go on LinkedIn and get enterprise development managers and send proposals to them. I mean, one of the first projects that I did was for Psych Enterprise Development. And I did not pay a price. I just go on social media and check this company and position myself for it. I got a deal and I set the advisory board to assist in terms of development of other entrepreneurs. So we are talking market access to market. We're just dissecting this concept. It's nearly 20 to 7. At 7, we'll be talking to Mr. Manu Mashaba, specialist, businessman, legal consultant, coach, with many years of experience in the field of SME development. We'll be talking to him about the solutions. And I want him, and I know he's listening, I want him to start with the issue of the power of negotiation. Because that's one thing that we ignore. That's one thing that we ignore. The power of pitching. Life is about pitching. Every corner you are pitching. When you are selling, you are pitching. You are pitching. Life is about persuasion. Life is about convincing each other. Are we convinced enough about our own product to an extent that high level, of convincing can be contagious to our customers? If not, why do we expect people to be our own customers if we cannot be our own customers? We spoke about business skills, knowledge, access to market. And I said access to market is access to networks. Access to networks is access to opportunities. Access to opportunities is access to people. Therefore, access to people is access to market. And if it's access to people, it's access to market. Therefore, access to people is access to sales. Then sales come from the relationships that we created with these people. Let me just identify one aspect under access to market. We run businesses in isolation. You ask entrepreneurs, are you a member of business organizations, and meet other entrepreneurs and other gurus in the field? No. Now, how do you see yourself achieving your goals, influencing the ecosystem, participating in the ecosystem, becoming the captain of the industry if you don't understand the same industry that you're part of? Or is it because we are just, comfortable? Survivalist, You sell and put bread and butter on the table, then it's done. Are we really having this thought that we must really, mesmerize, we must really dominate this space? We must really be the captains of industry? Are we thinking about that? And if we are thinking about that, which barometer, which instrument are we actually using to check if you are really at that level? If you are operating in isolation. Now, if you are a farmer, are you part of commodity groups? What is your relationship with other farmers? How are the do you know what is the problem? When you are part of that commodity group, already you have been empowered to say, no, expect 1, 2, 3. That's why farmers are very good with that. I love them more. You hardly find farmers that are operating in isolation. So why don't we emulate it? Why don't we imitate that? If you run a construction company, are you part of construction groups? Are you part of it? And remember, that in itself can give you a lot of business. I don't know how many times I got business from my own associate. I don't know how many times I got business from my own competitors. Because someone will get a project and he will say, I want this project, I don't have capacity, but I'll get other guys to work with. Then you come together and you work on the project. I've done a number of projects that way. So this thing ya erna was so teo jala setsa ana fela or hey o ga dira ntwe e wena o dirang o tlala ke mona, pulling down Centron, PhD of an African man. How do I take him down? No, that's why we cannot grow. That's why we cannot grow. I love the network of the people in the hospitality industry. Just try it. I've tried many times. It worked for them. Every guest house that you go to, if you're full, they will tell you. They will give you numbers of other guest houses because they understand the power of networking, the power of people. They understand that. Now, run a spaza shop. Do you know other spaza shops? Are you collaborating with other spaza shops? Or do you communicate with them? You run a catering company. Do you speak to other caterers to learn best practices? Things are changing. Gone are those days where don't know pelopia or whole sabo. Gone are those days. Gone are those days. Gone are those days. Don't know pia lunch ya hoho ya muroma khwana o cheche matras carry bar muro o muroma khwana. Gone are those days. Talk to others. Learn from others if you want to grow. What's it? How do you prepare lasagna? You know? How do you prepare lasagna? So that tomorrow when you get a client either from Italy or other company, you know, from other countries where they prefer that particular type of food, we have learned from our own competitors. I don't know how much I've learned from our own competitors. I don't know how much I've learned from my associate. So you see, I'm speaking access to market. I'm speaking access to market. And I'm already talking about sales. I'm already talking about development. I'm already talking about, capacity increase in the access to market. Yes. So it's a very powerful concept. It's not only the issue of occupying a standard Santen convention and coming back with 5,000 business cards. No, it doesn't work that way. 1846. My name is Mighty Mabule. Check me on social media. Go on Facebook, Mighty Man Mabule or Mighty Mabule. I'm a speakerpreneur. I'm a mentor. I'm a coach from Mabule International. We help small businesses. We help medium-sized businesses. We also help professionals. Just this week we were doing some management coaching for managers of certain company. If you need both setup and so on. But remember, you need a good life. We need a good life, and for us to have a good life, we must have a good talk. How can you have a good talk if you don't lay the foundation of a good life? Come to Good Life to Radio. Listen to us. The content is rich from January, February. We'll be getting very powerful speakers. Very powerful speakers that we'll be talking to. And we'll do advertising. We do digital marketing because we believe, and studies have proved, that any company that is not participating in the social media space run the risk of becoming irrelevant. Things have changed. Gone are those days when you stand at the corner and distribute flyers. Gone are those days. Talk to us. Send us an email, marketing@goodliferadiostation.com. If you are an advertiser, a sponsor, you want to come on board. Hey, Twani, you have many companies, you have multinationals. Come, let's change the lives of the people. Come and invest. Where is your corporate social investment going? You have big houses here in Twani. Come to us and say, under our CSE, we have 10 million as a budget. Come up with a very convincing proposal to change the lives of the people, because you guys are talking about good life. And I'll tell you what needs to be done. Alright? We do a live broadcast. You have a conference, you have a seminar, you want us to come on board and do a live broadcast, you're available. Interviews. If you want to be part of the panel, if you want to be part of the discussion, studio contacts 064-896-2911. WhatsApp 063-210-7834. And I've already indicated if you want to partner with us, marketing@goodliferadiostation.com. These are Good Life Radio contact details. or on the social media pages. Look for Good Life. Download our app. Available on App Store. Get it on Google Play. Exploit on App Gallery. We are there. We are participating. We have listeners. Or we have guys watching us from different parts of the world. So come and be connected to the world. We talk globalization. We are one thing. We're a nation. Because you can't create a good life if you don't have good talks. You must do cultural exchanges. Share best practices. Let's understand how you do it in China. Come and talk to us about how you were able to emancipate people from the chains of poverty. Over 200 million people, China, were moved out of poverty in 30 years. Come and talk to us. Come and talk to us and indicate how you were able to build Germany that came from a Second World War but became the biggest economy in Europe through small businesses. Come and talk to us. Send us messages. Drop emails. Now we're going to take a song. While preparing for Mr. Man Mashaba, it's 10 to 7. How can you let your own light shine if you don't even know where your light is located? And how will your light be able to be a light to others if it's not a light to you? One quote from, I think it's Marion Robinson and made popular by Rolihlahla Mandela says, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Who am I to be talented and fabulous? Who am I not to be? And it concludes by saying, as you let your own light shine, you encourage others to do the same. As you liberate yourself from your own fears, you automatically liberate others. Now we're talking entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship says you must let your own light shine. You must let your own light shine. Let the people know that you have something special to change the world. Entrepreneurship says liberate yourself from their own fears. And by so doing, you automatically liberate others. You know, I'm reading a book. It's a very inspirational book. I'm reading a very inspirational book of one of our brothers who managed to let his own light shine, who refused to carry his potential to the cemetery. As Miles Monroe has indicated that the richest place in the world is not the diamond mines of South Africa or the oil fields of Kuwait, but the cemetery. Because at the cemetery, that's where powerful ideas were buried. That's where visions were buried. That's where talents were buried. That's where passions were buried. But I'm reading a book by one of my brothers who refused to carry his potential to the cemetery. Dr. G. DJ's Boo. Billionaires under construction. I love the book. It speaks about how one became a laughing stock. How people will laugh at you. You know? I'm relating. I can relate. You know, people will laugh at you. People will say a lot about you. People will even tell your partner how mediocre you are. People will even tell your friends. People will even tell, how bad you are. But Sbu is saying, soldier on. Don't look back. They might put you in a low category. They might see themselves as the best. They might tell the ones closer to you that why do you befriend this person? Or why do you let this person marry you? Because this one is a failure, is a mediocre, is low class. But Sbu saying soldier on. Because you know the light that is inside you. But you understand your light to an extent that you can make impact. Do you understand it? Do you understand your light? Do you understand your light? Do you understand your light? My name is Mighty Mabule on Good Life Radio, doing Good Life Talk. Your life need to change. You are the architect of your own fortune. It does not matter how long it takes. They can count their fingers. It does not matter. Because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's up to you to reach what is called the end. Because remember, the ending can be the beginning of a certain beginning. We're talking entrepreneurship. We're talking SMME is the cornerstone of every economy. And we're looking at the solution to the challenges that we're facing as entrepreneurs. We're looking at solution to the challenges that we're facing as entrepreneurs. Because we are saying, we are tired of hearing narratives about better life for all. We are tired of hearing narratives about good life. We are tired of hearing so many positive semantics and scholastic or erudite concept. We're saying that's fine or feather. It's time now for our light to shine. It's time now for us to wake up and move forward. This is good life, right? This is good life talk. We talk, you get inspired. And when you get inspired, that inspiration becomes contagious on us. Let's have a conversation. We'll be talking to Mr. Semanu Mashaba, business mentor, legal consultant. Mr. Mashaba. Mr. Mashaba was driving and requested that we should connect with him after some few hours. But our producer is checking him. Then we move forward. You know, I was having a very interesting discussion with my producer. And he's asking me a very interesting question. He's saying, Mr. Mabule, how can we impact an economy in the rural areas to an extent that young people in the rural areas, even older people, no longer thinking of coming to Johannesburg or Gauteng for opportunities? They can create opportunities in their own environment. What is it that needs to be done? Because the SMME challenges that we talk about are very, very rife, are very, very strong in the rural areas. Very, very strong in the rural areas. And he was asking me a lot of questions, my producer here, to say, what is it that we need to do to impact this economy in the rural area? Remember, we were talking SMME challenges. Remember, we said access to market is access to networks. Access to networks is access to opportunities. Access to opportunities, access to people. So in the rural areas, you know, I do training in different parts of the country, and sometimes I'll go to rural area. You know, last time I was running training in Tafelkop, and I was saying to the people in Tafelkop, how many of us are suppliers to a mall or malls that are built in our area, you know, obviously referring to one in Grolestal and so on. Are we just proud that now we have big malls next to us? How many of us are concerned about the opportunities that have been created by the establishment of the mall? And how many of our communities are organized so that they can explore opportunities that are there? Do we have community forums? Do we have local business forums? Do we have business chambers that can, you know, organize business people to come together and go to the municipality and say, when you sign an agreement with this guy, let's make sure that they procure from local suppliers, and they have enterprise and supplier development program, and they have a responsibility to utilize that budget to capacitate the same SMMEs in those communities. If Babaka Mini Ulira Acha, through their ESD program, they can take money and pay South African Bureau of Standard and do product testing and packaging and labeling so that that Acha can be palatable to the powers that be. They can do it. The budget is there. All the multinationals know 3% of their net profit after tax must be spent on small business. So they have a responsibility to spend money on small businesses. There's no need for us. No need. for us every time coming to Johannesburg, coming to Gauteng. Let's explore opportunities in our area. How many mines do we have in Sekhukhune area alone? Are we monitoring how they spend their corporate social investment? Are we monitoring how they spend their ESD budget? How is the social labor plan structured? Why don't we influence the mine to create factories for us instead of just donating to crutches and build roads and giving money to the chiefs and so on? For once, why don't we say to those multinationals in those areas, in those mining areas, and say, please establish a manufacturing academy for us. Why don't we go to the mines and say, please create a music college for us in the rural area, first one in the rural area. Create it and get the likes of DJs, Boos that have good hearts and so on to come and share their knowledge and expertise with regard to the music industry. So that we don't have our own young people traveling as far as Limpopo to the central parts of Johannesburg and being robbed by other people. Why don't we do that? Who do we blame? It's us. The only thing that we'll see is trucks full of minerals driving to Richards Bays and Durban and so on, loading those minerals to different parts of the world while we are suffering. So I'm responding to the question that says, how can we impact local economy to an extent that we don't have? Remember, the enemy of unemployment is poverty. The enemy of unemployment is unity. The enemy of poverty is unity. For as long as we don't come together as Africans in our communities and come up with economic empowerment programs, we run the risk of suffering until the cows come home. Yes. 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 In terms of the mining charter and other legislations, all those mining houses have a responsibility to make investment in those communities. But the question is, are we organized enough? Let's look at the Mabule site municipality. Let's look at the mines in Mabule. You speak about some of the best mining companies in the world. But go and look at Mabule. That's the challenge with water. But what they see is trucks loading platinum, taking it to their families in Europe. Who do we blame? It's us. We're supposed to be exploring those opportunities and utilizing that to impact the local economy so that our economy can change. How many recreational facilities do we have in Mogalogana areas? Do we have parks? No. Do we ever dream of one day having a black children winning Olympics, coming back with gold swimming medals? So we need to impact local economy by, number one, coming together and being united. That's one. Being united. That's one. Secondly, once you are united, looking at available opportunities in our area to say, how can we explore these opportunities in our area? Then we can impact local economy. And when that economy grows, we will have entrepreneurs coming on board, supplying those malls, supplying those mines, creating a lot of jobs. Then the economy is impacted. And the same entrepreneurs will be able to invest in other talent development programs.